It occurred to me while I'm moving my canoes over to my daughter's place for storage that I could show you what I do to tie it up on the roof rack, etc. So let's get to it. So here it is. You guys have seen the battle wagon before, but I've got an Old Town Penobscot, an old one because it's made out of Royal X, weighs 58 pounds, and an Old Town Trapper or something that's just under 12 feet. Anyhow, those are 80-inch bars that go across, Yakima, that are bolted into the end of the roof and sealed with silicone. But what I do in terms of tying it down, I'll start at the front, is I've got a piece of nylon webbing here that I leave in that's just behind one of the bolts that I loosen. So it's just a U shape. I keep this cord at a constant length. When I'm canoeing, I just put it up in that Velcro strap. But anyhow, I keep it at that constant length so I know exactly how far to pull back. I've got this cord on this one on the outside here, and on the other one over there, it's on the outside of that one. Anyhow, when I put the straps across, I just throw them over, and then I wrap them. You can see them wrapped over the bar, and then it comes back over the top. And when it comes over the top, I bring it down here. I wrap it once, and then I put it through the buckle. And I like to pull it all so that when I'm tightening it, the buckle's going up the side of the canoe. I can really crank it down. And then I just throw a couple half hitches in. Like so. I don't know if I'm getting this in the frame or not. And that's it. And it lets me, having the cord like I did there with the constant length, I just push the canoe on from the back of the van. I push it too far forward. I put the toggle through the Velcro strap there. Then I pull it back. And I always wrap this outside one twice. So, for instance, if I could do this one-handed, yeah, that's some. You can see here, it's wrapped twice. The reason it's wrapped twice is I do not want that canoe sliding off to the outside, because obviously that'd be bad juju. But I do that on the front and the back, and I do the shorter canoe last, because throwing the strap over, and don't throw the piece with the buckle on it, just throw the empty strap. But doing the shorter canoe, I can actually kind of feed it over and feed it back. So that's what I do. But I put it on from the back, and I'll take it off from the back as well. But I don't have a tripod or anything with me right now. So anyhow, that's the deal. Those babies will cruise at 75 miles an hour, no problem. Take it easy. So that's all I do from a loading perspective, is get it just like that and then slide that bad boy up and onto the second bar. Slide it all the way forward, get that toggle in place, pull it back tight, and put on those two cross straps. Here's a close-up of how I've got those toggles on. Well, not the toggles, but the loops. So that's just 3/4 inch nylon webbing. It's got that bolt there, and it's just run right through the middle of each bolt. When I'm not towing the boats or putting the boats on, I just put them like that. And here's the other one. It don't matter if you put them back or not, but anyhow, that's aesthetically the way to be. That's it, man. And finally, this is what the 16-foot canoe looks like when I'm just getting ready to load it, or in this case, unload it. And all I do is get underneath the yoke at this point and walk that bad boy off. It occurred to me that since I'm over here, I'm gonna store them against that I'm gonna clean it up obviously, but store them against that wall. I figured I'd make a rack, so I'll show you that real quick. So there's the canoes and my wife's kayak and a few other knickknacks, which I'll put underneath them on a rope or something. Anyhow, making a brace. This is loose. It was just in there for separation. But bottom one, big canoe is going to go on the bottom. The camo one's going to go in the middle, and the kayak will go on the top. And what I'll do is I'll put some corner bracing on those, and I'll put some kind of runners between the two sets of uprights, and I'm gonna cut the top off and use that for corner bracing because it's not necessary to have it up there. It's not doing anything. Anyhow, I'll show it to you when I'm finished. All right, bad boys together. So I made those two brackets. Again, this is for 3 canoes and kayaks, whatever. I made those brackets. I then put the stretchers across at 8 feet. Canoe's 16 feet, 12 feet, and like 11-foot kayak, so that's going to be kind of tough, but whatever. And then I just put the corner bracing in, and as you can see, I did 45 or thereabouts. I just actually scribed it against the posts. And I'm gonna now test fit the boats, and then I'll tie them down, and then I'll put the paddles and that kind of stuff somehow on the inside of them once they're upside down. And lastly, what I'm going to do from my Penobscot, from a UV protection perspective, I got tons of spray paint cans. I'll probably do some camo looking thing, kind of like the small canoe. Anyhow, that's the deal. In order to get the uprights level, I downloaded a quick leveling app before I screwed them in. So I just tacked them and then leveled them and finished them off. Anyhow, I'll show you when I put the boats on it. Okay, I got like a clothesline type effect going underneath the camouflage one, hanging life jackets and stuff like that to keep them out. Paddles are all up inside that one, and they're all tied down with a heavy-duty piece of nylon. From a wind perspective, I did run out of nylon on the 5th of these, so I tied it off, and I had a bungee cord, and I did that with a bungee cord on the end. Important thing, just like putting on the roof rack, is that you have it attached at the narrow portions so it won't slide through. Because if you know, in this case I've got narrow and narrow, well, it's not going anywhere. That's the case with all 3 boats. Anyhow, we're gonna kill the grass. This is sort of a test fit. We'll kill that grass, put a weed barrier down and whatnot, and put some mulch maybe down. And I lifted it up on blocks just to get the bottom one so the ends wouldn't touch the ground, which is something I planned on doing anyway. But yeah, now I'll just paint the bottom one so that UV damage won't reoccur to it, kind of like the middle one. Plus it'll look cool, and we'll go about our business. So hopefully next time you'll see us on the water doing something.